we're going to give them the ball and we're going to let them like be who they are. You know, it's only but so many guys in the entire league that can be their true self and don't have to like take a back seat or like alter their role within an NBA system. And Klay's one of those guys, JP's one of those guys, even Wiggs, Draymond, but he's just different. You know, he's elite at what he does, so he can just play his game. But, you know, when they start to realize that, they don't have to rush ever because the balls will come back to them anyway, even if the first, second, or third option is not open. Like, they're the type of guys that they're every option. And when they don't get the ball, it's because they got someone else open. I think JP's starting to see that. But Klay's was out for so long, he just needed to get that rhythm back, get that confidence back. And we just kept reiterating, you know, we're coming to you regardless if you're making shots or not. Just let the game flow and it'll come to you.
You guys hit 39 assists tonight. That's the most you've had in a few months. What do you take from that?
I mean, the ball was moving pretty well. The second unit, we've been having like lows throughout the season. You know, those highs and lows in terms of how the ball is moving. And I just said about JP, I think when I'm out there a little bit, he doesn't have to be in panic mode, and we don't have to worry about getting a good look. And Klay's out there with me now too in the second unit. I think both second units in the start of the second. In the fourth quarters, Klay was out there, and we just going at him every single time because either he's going to get a look or he's going to open it up for someone else. And you saw that ball moving pretty well. It was the only three I had tonight. We had about 4 or 5, like, great. Like, it was the start of my drive where JP hit me. I hit the corner. It was swing, swing, swing. And very rare that we get the ball moving like that. If you've been watching us when we were struggling, the ball stayed on one side of the court. And we had a lot of one-pass shots, but we had even more zero-pass shots. And I think Steve just kept, you know, trying to drive that home in terms of the ball is not moving. And when the ball moves, the defense moves. And it's the NBA. It's really hard to stop the offense when the game's played the right way.
Go ahead.
Along those lines, I mean, how much have you seen Jordan grow as a passer and a facilitator, given he's been filling some big shoes with when Klay was out and when Steph was out, and just ready to take this next step on the postseason stage?
Yes, it's interesting. You know, we joke about him, Belly and myself, because we were in Miami together and we got to see Tyler Hero play. And I don't think people quite knew how good of a passer Tyler was. And we call both of them Wonder Boys because they're both from Milwaukee. They both kind of have that flair flash to their game. They both can score at a very high clip. And, you know, that can sometimes take away from the other parts of the game that they're pretty good at. Like, they both have really good left hands. They both make those cross-court passes with one hand. And it's funny that, you know, I'm hearing, you know, Tyler is, you know, he's looking at a max contract, and I'm laughing at Jordan. Like, I mean, it's the same thing, you know? So just continuing to develop your game. He's a workhorse. He's in the gym every single day. He's early. He's leaving late. Like, he loves the gym. And, you know, there's just that hump he just got to get over in terms of understanding what impact on the game means when it's really important. I think those they're very similar in those ways with Tyler, because Tyler got to experience that in the bubble, playing deep into the playoffs, having those great playoff games, and that's been able to elevate his games. I'm seeing the same trajectory with Jordan.
And along those lines, how much experience you guys have as a core unit, even though you don't have Steph right now, when you go into the playoffs, how much will that help Jordan, that you guys have all played so many big playoff games together, and he can kind of get in there with you and learn from that? Well,
experience is that's the best way for someone to learn and you know, figure out how they have to adjust to become who they really want to be. And he has his sights set high for himself. And so he's just going to have to go through it. He asked me a question tonight that he hasn't asked before that let me know, like, oh, okay, he's starting to pick up on some things. And I think he wants to be great. And, you know, but this is an era of basketball where, you know, guys can be afraid of being great just because of what comes with it. It's just, you know, everything's just coming back on your life. Like, it's a lot heavier where you feel like you can't relax your brain. You can't go home and leave the game at the gym because social media, everyone gonna have so much access to you. You know, you've seen what's happened in LA this year, which is kind of they didn't get to expectations, and just what comes with that can be brutal. And only LA has to deal with that. But what we've done here with the Warriors, we can feel that sometimes. You know, even when we win, and if it's not by enough, you kind of feel that energy. You know, just keeping it. You know, the young kids call keeping it 100. You know, I hear all types of things. Whether whose fault is it? You know, is it coming from the sidelines? Is it a particular player? Trades like you try to not see it, but it's just thrown in front of you so much. Good job, Raymond. I forgot. No, it was really about like, what am I thinking when I'm in a game with him? And then I broke down what I'm looking for. I just told you, I'm my first answer, like, you're the first, second, and third option. Just know that. And if you don't get the ball, it's because you drew two people and we scored because of you. You just got to start realizing that. And it's just, the game is really easy.
You've had a few games back since your injury. How are you feeling just physically?
I mean, I got 20 minutes tonight. I'm 38. And so if he dies, he dies. Yeah, at this point, whatever.
It is what it is.
Hey, Andre.
Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, a lot of people are talking about who you guys match up with, who you should play, who you shouldn't play, and all that stuff. Would it be fair to say that the guys on the team are less concerned with that and more concerned about the state of how you guys are playing and how prepared you are?
Yeah, 100%. It's a league of just that basketball energy. You know, you talk about the basketball gods, that karma, you know, playing with good karmic ways, and you can't try to maneuver or scheme your way to advancing further and further. And I think that is how we're approaching it. Like, we just got to be playing good basketball, and we got to get our winning ways. And like, even when you lose in this league, if you play the right way, where you're supposed to go, you'll eventually get there. And I think, you know, tonight we didn't do it as well, but we did our job. Second half, we did what we were supposed to do, and we just got to keep building.
Hey, Andre. Going back to something you said earlier, you said there's very few guys who can truly be themselves in this league, pointing to Clay. But then you said something maybe about an even more elite class, saying Draymond's not in that category. Why is he not in that category? Like, what about Draymond?
No, I said Draymond. Draymond, I wouldn't. He is in that category in a different way, where he can do whatever he wants, you know. But most guys think you can do whatever you want. You just shoot every time. I said Draymond's in a category, but a different way. He's not like them in terms of like offensively, but Draymond can play however he wants to play, but that's because of his elite IQ. And it's only like 3 or 4 of those guys in the entire league. So he's just in the class above him by himself. That's really what I meant by it. Like, you got some guys that shoot on some teams, they shouldn't be shooting that much, but they just got the luxury because of how their team is structured. But Draymond's so elite, no matter where he goes or wherever he plays, he's going to be elite in his, you know, in his role. You saw he did in the Olympics, you know, gold medal game. They needed to win in basketball, and he didn't probably play as many minutes as he would like, but in the gold medal game, when it mattered and you need to win, he was put in the game. I think that spoke volumes about him.
What's the key for this team to cut back on some of these fouling issues?
I think it's bad habits. We just got to don't pass him the mic. I haven't even seen him all year. He gets awards, and now he act like he's too good to come in here. Yeah, I'm always watching you. But you like it's that thing where you get away with fouling in practice, and I always say it's gonna come out. We say it's gonna come out in a wash in a good way, but that comes out in a wash in a bad way, where you get lazy and you're passing guys off on switches instead of coming together. And you start to, you know, kind of let the tight string go. That the chain's supposed to always be tight. It should never come too close together. And you get a little lazy because of the success we had, the show that comes with the game, and you lose some of your fundamentals. And that's going to bite us in the butt if we don't nip it in the butt.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure, world award winner.
You've played just about every perimeter role in your career. What's it like to be a point guard again, especially on this team where they need you and you're the adult in the room? Is it fun? Does it make you feel younger or anything like that?
Well, I mean, it saves me from having to exert too much energy because I played with Andre Miller for a good amount of time, and that's where I really increased my IQ of the game. I was always an amazing defender, but offensively, I started learning how to be effective without having to use my athleticism or rely on it. Playing with Andre Miller, he just made the game so easy for me and for other guys. And just watching him for so much time, it's, okay, when you get older, you can play as long as you want because I can change tempo at any given time. I don't always have to be fast. I don't always have to jump high. I don't always have to rely on the quick twitch. So it actually saves me some energy because I know how to set my man up and be a threat, even though they know I'm passing, but they have to honor me, especially when I pass to Clay or Steph. They try to leave me and I'm cutting back door. Belly hit me with a cut down the middle, and then I hit Otto on the opposite side. And when I got the dunk, they were kind of cheating off me as well. So I still know how to be very effective as a point guard, and they know I'm passing the ball, but still being in a threat position to make them honor me. That'd be cool.